Hi, welcome everybody. It's the 11th of April and I'm out here walking Penny in nature, and I thought I would just see what comes up and we'll do a little prediction video reading today, and we'll just get started. I'll just let my guides channel through to you for anyone new to my channel. It's a cool kind of day out here where it's a little bit cloudy today, so hopefully the rain will hold off for me. I don't know how long Penny will sit for. She's a pretty active little girl. Come here. Say hi to everybody. Hi, Penny. Okay, I'm just going to close my eyes and we'll just get started and see what comes up for the 11th of April. Now, I'm getting that your gifts are giving back to you. So when they're saying your gifts, what they mean is your strength. So you have these strengths inside you that a lot of other people don't have. So if you're watching this video, I'm letting you know that you have the strengths to get through these difficult and challenging times. I know sometimes it doesn't feel like we have got the strength to do it, but you actually have got the strength. You're a very empowered person, and you're a person who is able to create change. Now, I've said that before in some of my videos, that we are creating change in the world by helping to wake people up and guiding people, and I do believe it is still, this is really about the Great Awakening. We are changing as people, and we are transforming into who we're meant to be, and we found those powers now, like within us, and that strength inside to keep us going. And what they're saying is this has been really solidified now. So if you're one of these people who's fighting back and wanting to find out the truth, you're very solid now. They're showing me it's almost like that solidified state. So it's like the petrified wood. We're very, very solid and very stable now in our thoughts, our beliefs, and our direction moving forward. So that's a great positive message that I want you to take from this reading today, is that you're now solidified. It's like the petrified wood, where we're feeling very strong, stable, and powerful in our own energy. Now, I'll see what else comes through today. It's all right, Penny. Now, I'm getting that there's a lot really going on globally. So this is the structure starting to form on a very global scale. Now, things are starting to be brought to the surface. It's almost like they're showing me if you pour oil into water, it's like almost a science experiment. I guess this thing's been a bit of an experiment, really. But it's if you pour oil into water, the oil will float on the top. And this is what's starting to happen now. These things are starting to float to the top, and we're starting to see them. So they're no longer immersed below the water. Things have floated to the top. And if you think of oil, you can't push it down and sink it. It'll regroup itself and float back to the top. If you think of the water and the oil as just a visual, that's what's happening now. Things are floating to the top, and they're floating to the surface, and now they're being seen. So we have to look at this as a good thing, even though they are also implementing their agenda, and we know this is coming to fruition. There's a lot of real crazy shit going on out there in the world, and I think if you look at Shanghai, China, I talked about that yesterday, there is some crazy shit going on over there, and I think we're all really aware of where this is all heading, and you only need to look at some of the material in the videos coming out of Shanghai to know that, wow, this is getting really loopy now. They're really fast tracking things to like crazy insanity. I actually said to my husband yesterday that in Shanghai they're actually driving people to insanity now. They're making people really become mental over there. There was a video yesterday of them all just like batshit crazy fighting over food, and it's almost gone right back to the days of the lack of toilet paper issue, where everybody was fighting over like the basic commodities and foods and things. Well, this is kind of what's currently happening. So this is what's coming to the surface. When we think of that oil, things can't be pushed down now. Now, this could also be around truths as well. When information starts coming out, and this is collectively, it can't be pushed down and hidden anymore. And that's what I talked about very early in the year about the reset and the people trying to put out the spot fires, the leaders. it's very hard to put out spot fires when they have intense heat. You think of a tree that's been on fire, you can put the fire out on the outside of it, but often that fire is still burning within that tree, and that's a very common thing, that you'll often still have this fire burning inside of something, and that's what's currently going on. These fires can no longer be put out, they just keep igniting all over the planet, the globe rather. It's all right, Penny, it's all right, I got you. So this is what I'm currently getting in these energies. At the spot fires can't be put out, and there are too many of them. And this is what I mean about people who are standing up and finding their voice. They're wanting some compassion. You imagine if you've gone through some adverse reactions and you're not getting any help or any support from anybody, how that would make you feel. That would make you feel really pissed and angry. Now, my husband actually showed me a little video this morning of a sports show in South Australia here, which is another state, and they were actually talking about the football players and how they're all coming down with myocarditis. Now, this is becoming a big problem, and if they're talking about it on a TV show, a footy show, we know that things are starting to come out. And they were even talking in the same show about Bell's palsy, which is when you have that sort of paralysis of the body. This is the kind of stuff that's coming out. It can't be silenced anymore. People are standing up. People are in fear of what they have done to their bodies. Now, I talk about you guys watching this my channel because I know a lot of you have detached yourself, and we have managed to separate ourselves from all this silly nonsense and the rubbish that's been going on. But that's why it's so important that you keep watering and planting those seeds that we've already planted. We've planted all our seeds. We almost could detach and not do a lot, but it's important that we still keep going and we still keep fighting and we still keep fertilizing and enriching that soil to make sure that these things are growing. I talk about the budding of the trees as a comparison to the people that are waking up. Now they're actually really opening up. Things are opening up. You have to see the buds on the trees, like in springtime when everything starts opening, the flowers start to open, everything starts to open. This is relative, and this is about people opening their eyes as well, you know, and taking those rose-colored glasses off. I've talked about that a lot too, but this is happening. There are changes afoot, and the changes are starting to take form. I know if you're living in countries such as Canada, France, a lot of these countries, look, it's even in New Zealand, it's very hard to see any light and any truth coming out, but you have to know that they are. It's like the oil and the water. It doesn't mix. They're separate things. You've got the water with the beautiful flow, and then you've got the oil that's in separated droplets laying on the surface that can't be pushed down anymore. People are seeing it. And that's a very scientific kind of comparison, but I think a lot of people can relate to that. The two don't go together. Water and oil don't go together. They don't blend. And that's what I'm feeling. I'm feeling like because they're sort of worlds apart, things aren't blending anymore. And again, it's that spot fires. They can't put the spot fires out. They're emerging all over the place, and it's causing like a mass fireball. We could probably relate it to that. It's just gaining that momentum and really taking off now. So I want you to hold that in your mind as well today, that the spot fires can't be put out anymore. They haven't got enough people to put out the spot fires because there's too many people waking up that are starting to see the enormity of what is going on and the gravity of the situation. I'll just see what else we get today. Yep, I'm getting feelings that have been suppressed for too long really coming out. There are a lot of victims out there who have been scammed, and they're not happy about it. They are really, really pissed off, as you would be if you suddenly started to realise that, hang on a minute, none of this has been about health. I think we can all pretty much stand here and say that. This has been about the agenda and the things that they've wanted to implement, and about currency, finance, obviously the digital credit scoring. We know that's going to start happening very soon, but that's what's kind of going on. People are getting really pissed off and they're getting really angry because they don't want their finances touched, and they're starting to open their eyes up about the reset and what the hell's, who's these global leaders. This is about the seeds that you've been planting and what we've been implementing, and now it's starting to make a huge, huge difference. So things are starting to fall apart. I do feel that things are starting to fall apart. It's showing me it's like like a courier van, when you have a lot of boxes or parcels on a courier van and they're being thrown around in the back of the van, they're showing me that the box, all the corners are crumpled up and they're getting all squished. Their perfect little box and perfect little plan is not so perfect anymore. The corners are getting dented, things are getting squashed. It's showing me that it's getting all out of shape. So as much as they're trying to keep their reset going and getting this agenda rolled out really quickly, things are getting a little bit out of shape now because it's becoming a rougher ride for rolling out the agenda and the reset. It's not as easy as they thought it was going to be because of the pushbacks, and now they're dealing with the people who have had adverse side effects and the people who have lost jobs and mandates as well. Could you imagine the enormity of how that's all growing out there? This is 2.5 years into the pandemic, and they're still rolling out Omicron XE and all this stuff, and Shanghai's having a complete conniption, and this is what people are seeing. They're seeing it. Keep sharing your information because it is making a difference. People are seeing that. What do you mean there's another variant coming? This is overwhelming people. They don't want to be living like this. They're starting to see that their freedom is being taken away, and it's being taken away very, very rapidly, and it's advancing towards them, and they don't like it. Now, this morning I actually watched a video this morning here in Australia about a disc that they're making. Instead of the COVID jab, you can have a little disc, and they actually said in it, this is being made here in Australia, and they actually said that they're going to actually make it a COVID disc, and this is, they've been working on this disc for 10 years. 10 years! Now, that seems very bizarre to me, because how come they've been working on it for 10 years when we've only had the virus for like 2.5? But they said that this will be for the COVID jab, that you can have that instead of needles. And they said that because these boosters are going to be ongoing, it's imminent that you're going to be having permanent boosters. And that came from their mouths. The people designing these things said it will be permanent boosters moving forward. Now, if that doesn't frighten people, I don't know what does, because why are they needing permanent boosters? And I think, as most of you watching my channel realise, that this is very, very bad for people's immune systems, and it's starting to take a toll on them because they keep getting sick. They are all getting COVID. In Shanghai now, they're locking up the people with COVID in special wellness camps, which we've had built here in Australia. I'm sure in your countries, if you're watching this, Germany, Denmark, Finland, Sweden, I'm sure you've got your wellness camps being built too. So you're no longer going to be able to quarantine from home. They're pretty much going to be dictating what's happening around anyone with COVID viruses and things like this. Now, this sounds like a pretty full-on event that's kind of coming towards a lot of these people. Now, when you've stayed off that Kool-Aid road, it's probably a good place to be detached, because they're still trying to push it here that anyone can get jabbed and start their journey, that it's never too late. They're still pushing that as well here. I know there's probably people that are also watching this video who have already been jabbed. You may have even been boosted. I often talk about taking your vitamin D, C and zinc, which was very good advice that I was given right at the beginning of all this from a very sort of natural healer. He's actually my chiropractor who does Neuralink and links the mind and body, and it's been great advice. My husband and I aren't jabbed, and we haven't got COVID. Our daughter's had COVID. Everybody we know that's jabbed has had COVID, and I'm sure you guys have got these stories as well. Let me know down below what's been happening around with you guys, and how your experiences are around this kind of thing, and what's worked for you and what hasn't. We know that some of the other alternative medicines do work, but still here in Australia, when it comes to, I won't actually say it, when it comes to the, is it horsewormer? They actually said that it's highly dangerous, and it's very dangerous to be using anything like that. But as we know, in Australia, they actually use that for scabies. So they've been using it for years. So I'm very confused as to why suddenly it's become highly dangerous to be used. So these are the kind of things we're dealing with, just that confusing nonsense that gets put out, and of course, no truths. I'll just see what else I get today. Sorry, there's a garbage truck in the background there, you can probably hear, ruining the nice natural sounds of nature. Here I am out in nature. That's the best place to be, I think, to escape all this nonsense. Now I'm getting, don't let people belittle you. Like, you will still get people who think you're crazy. And look, that's fine. I think for 2.5 years we've pretty much been getting that. I know I have, I know you guys have, because you talk to me a lot down below and I love hearing from you. So don't let people belittle you anymore. Just, you know, you can listen to them and they can have their opinion, and that's fine. We're all allowed our own opinions. Well, sometimes we're not. On social media, we're not allowed to have our opinion, and they are trying to close down free speech. I know here in Australia, they've actually passed a bill the other day that you can't protest and demonstrate if it causes a challenge to, like, society. If you're causing and disrupting society, you will be shut down and you will be fined. So pretty much if you think of any demonstration, it does tend to shut things down, doesn't it? It tends to block roads and this kind of thing. Even if they're peaceful, it still can be disruptive. So you kind of have to wonder why they're passing a lot of these bills. Like, are they scared that people will stand up? That's what I'm feeling. I'm feeling like a lot of people want to stand up against this kind of tyranny and dictatorships that we're all kind of seem to be heading into. And I think that's becoming clearer and clearer to a lot of people out there now. This isn't hidden anymore. Those spot fires aren't being put out. They're still smouldering, like I said, in the tree and burning internally. And that could even be about people. People are really burning inside with anger, hostility and hatred and just anger at what their governments and what has happened to them. You think about if you've had a terrible vaccine adverse reaction and you're still being forced in your job to be boosted. They are still implementing that here in Australia. I'm not sure what's happening in some of your countries over there, but can you imagine the anger that is burning inside of those people to think if they've had, I know people, for example, that have had seizures and they are still forcing them to get more jabs. Now, if you've had really bad epileptic seizures, that is just, there is no logic in moving forward and having more jabs. So this is what you've got to remember, is building in people. So look, really protect yourself, stay detached, don't let people belittle you anymore, because this is their awakening process and this is for them to wake up. And I still believe that people are going to get a real surprise at some of the things that are going to come out. And I think, even to be honest, I think we're going to be shocked by some of the things that might unfold, particularly, well, I did say April, but I particularly feel in the next few months a lot's going to unfold. And we know there's a lot of votes going on currently globally. Here in Australia, we've got a vote in May. I know Macron's got one, I think, in the next day or two. Is it in France? There's just a lot of activity around these kind of things. But it's very tricky because we know they're all pretty much on the same agenda, aren't they? I'll just see if there's any closing messages today as well. Look, the message today is please don't get disheartened. I know this battle is really fraught with frustration. It seems so severe. Our life feels so, sometimes it feels so uninspired, like, why have we been given this role, and why have we been so ostracized from society? But the thing is, we haven't been ostracized from society. This is a mindset. This is something that we can take control of now, and we can take control of our lives, and we can stay strong in our own power and really start to make a difference. And I want you to hold on to that you're the people that are making the change. And look, that's a beautiful gift, to be able to help people and guide people. And like I said the other day in my video, be that light that people are coming towards, that are trying to get out of that dark, dark tunnel that they're feeling very trapped in. You're the light. So keep going, keep glowing as well as a light, and stay really strong, because I still believe these next couple of months there's a lot unraveling, and we're just gonna we're gonna be standing back, taking a big breath, putting our hands on our hips, and we're not gonna be going, I told you so, even though we wanna do that. We're gonna actually just be letting them work it all out for themselves, and I think that's the safest place to be. We don't want to become the know-it-alls. We just need to become very humble and have really great humility going forward, because that's really important in this process of waking people up. you know, it's sad to see people's lives crumbling, but sometimes people have to hit rock bottom in order to rebuild their life again. And I think if you're watching this video, you've probably been through your soul breakdowns or your dark night of the souls. We've all been through sort of our own life experiences that have led us on a path to where we are right this very minute as you're watching this video and as I'm sitting here in the park relaxing. So look, please take care today. Just keep spreading the word, keep fertilizing, keep watering, and like I said, think of the water and the oil. They don't go together. We're the water, we're the flow in life, and the agenda and all these things they're trying to implement are the oil. They don't penetrate into the water, and I want you to hold that visual today. So look, thanks for watching. I'll say goodbye for now from Australia, and have a great day, everybody. Bye from Penny. I'm going to keep walking her, and I'll see you in that next video. Take care, everybody. Bye from Australia.